All right, James. Final topic of the day: Major League Baseball winter off season. A lot of people are talking about it, especially since the one sport that decided not to lock out. All
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
is the Marlins, for the first time in I think franchise history, are actually making a splash this year. Jose Reyes. I know we're not Met fans, but he pretty much trashed them today, saying that
yeah.
the Mets flat out did not want him back.
Well, that's. I don't think that's the case. I think that he made the Mets out to be the bad guys. But if you listen to Sandy Alderson, who's the Mets general manager, a couple of nights ago, before the whole Reyes thing was announced, he called the New York press corps and a bunch of the national baseball media up, and he said, "Look, guys, Jose Reyes is going to sign with the Marlins. It's a 6-year deal. He estimated around 110 million. It ended up being 106 million. But he said, look, we didn't get a courtesy call from his officials. We didn't get the chance to make a formal offer to his agent. But again, you got to look at it. Reyes is an injury concern. He's
Yep.
more of an injury concern than Hanley Ramirez, who the Marlins already have, and who the Marlins have annoyed by signing Jose Reyes. But so you look at it, and when he's healthy and when he's motivated, Ramirez is one of the top 5 players in Major League Baseball, and you just annoyed him, and he wants a restructured contract or a trade, and that's just a bad situation there because you thought, oh yeah, well, we're going to sign Jose Reyes, we're going to move Ramirez to third, we're going to sign Albert Pujols, which appears now to be off the table,
Yeah.
and now Ramirez wants out because you basically said, we don't trust you to be our shortstop, even though we proclaimed for the last 5 or 6 years that you're the cornerstone of this team.
But let's face it, after last season, would you? He had a really bad season.
But he was injured.
Huh?
He was injured a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? Beginning
the
of the
first time
season,
in
he
his
was
career
not
that
injured.
It's the first time in his career that he had played less than 143 games in a season. He played 92 games.
But guess what?
But how many games has Jose Reyes played over the last?
I'm not making the argument for Reyes over Hanley because that's not where I'm getting at all. I think if you're going to have a guy be disgruntled, and he looked it, he didn't look like a guy that wanted to play. He kind of just looked like, look, let me heal, let me get out of here. I can't stand being here. There's 50 games left in the season. That's the guy that we saw of Hanley Ramirez. Reyes, you're right. He's always hurt, and there's a good chunk of the season that you can put just flat out 30 games DL, if not more.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get the thing that the Marlins actually do have is they do have some infield depth. So when Reyes does get hurt, they can stick Omar Infante in there. They can put Emilio Bonifacio to third,
Who they're apparently trying to shop.
which is stupid. Let's face it, the Marlins don't know what to do with money. Because would you put all your money into Reyes and Burley? I love Burley, and I love that sign.
I love Mark Burley too. You know what they should do? The Oakland Athletics are saying that they want a young outfielder for Gio Gonzalez. Go out and give him Logan Morrison for Gio Gonzalez.
Yep. And the Athletics would do that trade.
Yeah, go out and give him Logan Morrison and a couple
Stanton,
of prospects for Gio
cornerstone.
Gonzalez, and you're set.
Yep.
That rotation with
prospects, that deal's done.
That rotation with Josh Johnson, who, in my opinion, is the best pitcher not named Verlander under the age of 26.
When he's healthy.
When he's healthy, you look at it. Josh Johnson, Mark Burley, and Gio Gonzalez is your top 3.
That's a big 3
in the National League.
I would put that against Halladay, Lee Hamels.
I would too.
I'm not saying it would always win, but I'm saying that's a good chance. Marlins are going to be good.
You have the power righty, you'd have the power lefty in Gonzalez going against Cliff Lee, and then you'd have the finesse lefties in Burley and Hamels. Even though Hamels is a little bit of a harder thrower, Burley.
That's a series I want to watch.
Yeah, that would be a definite series I would want to watch, and especially if somehow they go back and they say, oh yeah, Albert Pujols, fine, we'll put the deal back on the table if you want it.
Yeah,
I think Albert Pujols is gonna. I think Pujols was just doing this whole dog and pony show. He's going back to St. Louis. He wanted to see how much money he could get from somebody to bring that back to St. Louis and say, if you guys want me, offer me this.
and this is the problem I have with Pujols, and I do love him as a player. He's one of the best players in baseball. Everyone's saying top 5 of all time. I don't see that. I really don't.
It's hard to make the case. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He'll probably break the home run record of all time.
Yeah,
depending on what Alex Rodriguez sets it at.
And clean.
And clean, and that's the whole thing.
Right.
Is there are a few players right now that would just absolutely kill baseball if it came out that they use performance enhancers. Derek Jeter's one. Albert Pujols is another. Okay.
Now, the one thing that could sink Pujols is everyone thinks he's older than actually what he is.
Yeah.
Which, do you want to give a 10-year contract to that guy?
There's somebody who's going to be 32 midway through next season.
But we know he's at least 32.
Yeah.
We don't know if this guy's 34, 36.
Yeah.
He could be in his last years. We don't know this.
And, but I mean, just the way that he came in just swept everybody off their feet. And the way that he's consistently performed. But you have to doubt him, but at the same time, you kind of have to say, as good as he is, we have to take him at face value, and we have to say, all right, fine, he's telling the truth when he says he's 31.
Right. But of those 3 guys, if you're building a team around them, the oft-injured Reyes, the unknown age of Pujols, and Mark Burley, who do you pick?
Oh, I don't know if I understand the question fully.
If you have to pick one of those 3 players for your team, who do you take?
Yeah. You take Albert Pujols.
I don't know if I'd take him.
I would absolutely take Albert Pujols in a second, because even if he is 35, 36 years old, look at the kind of production that he puts up on a yearly basis.
But how long?
Even if you get 4 or 5 years of that kind of production, that still puts you in position to win ball games.
But if you then take Reyes' case, then would you rather get that 4 or 5 years, or would you rather get the 6 or 7 broken up of him? Obviously missing, we'll say 50 games a year, or not 50. That's a little high. 30 at least.
I'd say 20 to 30 games a year, and I'd still
over 6 or 7. So you're talking about an above 300 hitter, 70+ steal base stealer. Home run, mid-level power. Triples,
mid-level
doubles.
power? Mid-level power?
I'll give him mid-level power.
I mean, Reyes hit 19 homers in 2006. He hit 16 in 2008. He's never hit more than 12 after that.
But what year did they move in the city?
They moved into the city. This was their 3rd season there.
Yeah.
And he went, and in those 3 seasons, he has 20 home runs.
And where do you think his power went? You're saying, I'm not saying this is where he would have gone.
Yeah, but
you're telling me if you put him in Citizens Bank, he hit more.
They play half their games on the road.
But it doesn't mean anything. That's still half their games that he's playing in a park that he can't hit home runs out of. David Wright is another perfect example. You put David Wright in anywhere but City and Petco, David Wright's a 30 home run hitter.
David Wright still is a 30 home run hitter.
Not in City Field. He's not. That's why I say he'll get traded.
They're moving the fences in 12 feet at City Field.
Oh, that's gonna matter.
Hey, he hit a lot of balls to the warning track last year.
We'll see. I believe it when I see it.
But this is just the one thing I'm going to say about Pujols. I would take 5 years of consistent production, of playing 155 to 162 games a season, over Reyes' production of 6 or 7 years, missing a span of about a full season worth of injuries in that time span, to missing maybe 30 games over the course of 5 seasons in Pujols' case.
All right, James. Last segment of the day, buzzer beater. Whole new segment we're going to come up with. You get 1 minute, any topic you want. 3, 2, 1, do it.
I was thinking about this segment for a while, and I was like, where do I want to go with this? And I'm going to say this. All right, I watch a lot of different sports. Okay? I watch the Big Four, but I watch college basketball. I watch college lacrosse. I watch college soccer. I watch English Premier League soccer. I watch Formula One. I watch NASCAR sometimes when I want to kick. I'm going to talk about golf though for a minute. I'm going to talk about Tiger Woods because golf is one of my favorite sports in the world. I play golf. I've been playing for 17 years. I watch golf. I enjoy watching golf. Okay? I'm going to say this. Tiger Woods is back, and it's a good thing not just for golf, but for sports. Look, obviously what he did, you can't it's a difficult thing to repair your image, okay? But I'm still always going to cherish and treasure the memories of the great Tiger Woods who played before this. And if Tiger Woods gets back, I'm going to cheer for him as a golfer. But as a person, it's hard to say, yes, I like you as a person, because let's face it, what he did it's unacceptable. You can't apologize for cheating on your wife with what seems to be, tens upon tens upon tens, maybe even to the triple digits. I mean, nobody's ever going to know how many women that Tiger Woods slept with and cheated on his wife with. But the fact of the matter remains, Tiger Woods being back at the top of his game is good for golf and it's good for sports, and I'm glad to see that Tiger is finally going to be getting back to that level. He will, mark my words, will win at least one major next year.
And I'll give mine real quick before we finish this show. It's an absolute shame that what happened to Ron Santo. The fact that he gets into the Hall of Fame a couple months after he dies. This guy has been campaigning. He's done everything he can. He has Hall of Fame numbers, yet he doesn't get in when he's alive, when he can actually appreciate it. There have been stories on ESPN New York, a lot of them, basically about the fact that his family had noticed that Ron Santo, the more that he talked about getting to the Hall of Fame, he responded. His health responded. His diabetes, he was able to quell that down. And you're going to give it to him after he dies? Shame on you. If I was Santo's family, don't even accept it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, it was a slap to the face. He was a phenomenal player. He easily was a Hall of Fame player, and the fact that it took so long for him to get in, and I think you're right. I think a lot of people are saying, all right, well, he passed away. Now he should go into the Hall of Fame. It's almost like, oh, he passed away, so as a courtesy, and I don't want this to sound like a negative, but the fact remains that if he couldn't get in all those years, and then he finally passes away, and now he gets in, I agree with your point that I think it was, all right, we should put him in now.
I feel so bad. He's dead. Let's give him the praises. Let him appreciate it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I think he should have gone in a long time ago. I'm happy that they finally got it right and they put him in, but I really think that he should have gone in a lot sooner.
All right, it's enough time for this week. See y'all next week. Hopefully the picks work out for you if you're betting on them. Later, everyone. James, good to talk to you. See you next week.
Anthony, always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We'll see you next week here on. I guess we're calling this the new Press Box, right, Anthony?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's call it the Press Box.
All right, so we'll see you next week here on the Press Box. For the Catalyst, I'm James Harding. He's Anthony Machcinski. Have a great week, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go Jets and let's go Bears. Shut the Tebow lovers up.